In this video, I'm going to discuss 3 toxic beliefs that are destroying your trading and ways to fix them. In fact, you're probably falling prey to some of these beliefs, so stick around. The first is believing that there is not enough time for trading. Imagine if you had a friend who asked to hang out, and the first time you say, "I'm too busy." But if you keep doing that, eventually your friend will wonder whether you actually like them. And you have to ask yourself, are you really too busy? Or is it because it's not high up on your priority list to hang out with your friend? The reality is, nobody's ever too busy. It's all about priorities. A common question some of my clients have before coming to me for help is, will I have enough time to be a profitable trader? So my clients work in a whole host of industries. Some work in real estate, others work a corporate job, so 50, 60 hours a week. And I've still helped them to be profitable because the reality is you can actually adapt your trading to your lifestyle. It's a common misconception that to be a profitable trader, you have to trade 50 times a week. But actually there are different styles. For example, you could be a scalper, so place several trades a day. You could also do intraday trading, so not as frequent as a scalper. Then there's also a swing trader, and this type of trader generally holds trades over 2-3 days, perhaps up to 2 weeks. And then there's positional trading, so that's much longer term. And so someone could actually be a single mom with 3 children and place, say, 5-6 trades a month and be substantially more profitable than someone else who places hundreds of trades a week. Because it's not to do with the quantity of trades, it's to do with the quality of trades. There's actually no evidence that someone who places 100 trades is actually more likely to be profitable than someone who places, say, 5 or 6 trades a month. At the core, you really need 2 things to be a profitable trader. Number 1 is having a statistical edge so that you come up profitable across 100, 200, 1,000 trades. And the second is having sufficient capital to make it worthwhile. But even still, once you're profitable, there's actually ways to scale up. And so there's different routes to actually achieving that. You don't have to scalp 50 times a week. You can also play swing trades. And actually some of my friends who are institutional grade traders place swing trades with the high time frame bias. And so it's really about keeping an open mind. See, a lot of people overcomplicate trading. They flood their charts with hundreds of indicators. They're constantly following the next news or arguing with people on Twitter, which makes you think that you don't have enough time to be a profitable trader. If a belief isn't there to serve you, it's really there to control you. The perfect time to start trading doesn't exist. You really have to make it a priority. The second is, if you treat someone like a celebrity, they'll treat you like a fan. A lot of traders pedestalize money, and some even demonize money as if it makes you evil. But in reality, money is just neutral. It's simply an exchange for goods and services. It enters your life by providing value or some sort of skill, and it leaves your life by consumption. So think takeaways or subscriptions. Now, if you pedestalize money, then you're probably going to have a hard time trading. And if you chase something, it implies that it's running away. And this applies to all aspects of life, not just trading. For example, the guys that get the most girls usually don't care, but the guys that are very clingy and needy probably have a pretty hard time getting that girl. And so you don't want to treat money like a celebrity. You want to see money and profits in trading as a natural byproduct of making good decisions. The input is following your trading plan, and the output is making profits. Similarly, if you wanted to lose weight, if you track your calories, stick to your routine, hopefully that will help you to lose weight. We all have a certain baseline in our bank account, and if we go below that baseline, we start to panic. For example, some people, it's normal for them to have $1,000 in their bank account. Others, it's 10,000. Others, it's 100,000. Others, it's 1 million. And whenever you fall below that amount, you tend to start panicking. And maybe if you go above that amount, perhaps you start overspending, maybe on that new gadget or that new holiday. And one of the things that I see recurringly among traders is they'll start trading on an account, but as soon as they start making profit, it somehow feels alien to them. And they find ways to self-sabotage. Perhaps they might over-risk. So instead of risking maybe 1% of their account, or half percentage, they'll start risking 2 or 3% for their trades. And this eventually brings their account balance back to the baseline. And so it's about not pedestalizing money or profits. See it as a natural byproduct of good trading decisions. So 15 months ago, I set a crazy goal. I was 200 pounds and overweight, and I wanted to get to 170 pounds. Now, I'm by no means a fitness expert, and there was a plethora of confusing information online, but I stuck to the principles. I counted my calories using an app, MyFitnessPal. I also weighed myself every other day, and I focused on my input. And by doing so, I was able to achieve my goal. Now, had I just skipped my workouts and skipped tracking and just looked at my weight every single day, I probably would not have made much progress, because that's the output. And I thought to myself, okay, if I stick to my input, the output should be a natural byproduct. I didn't didn't pedestalize my output, which was my end goal. And so mastering this aspect of trading has really translated to other areas of my life. And I believe it can do the same for you as well. The final toxic belief that's destroying your trading is working hard, not smart. See, 9-to-5 jobs have conditioned us to trade time for money because we're rewarded for hours worked as opposed to the output. I remember my first 9-to-5 job many years ago. I had to actually physically clock in and clock out on a timesheet. Now, the problem is this can be very toxic for trading because in trading, we're actually rewarded based on quality of trades as opposed to the quantity of trades. And this really takes some time to wrap our head around. I actually had a client who was saying he would work really hard in his corporate job from 9 to 3 p.m. and was very, very focused. Now, he had a colleague next door who would achieve the same work output but from 9 to 5 instead of 9 to 3. This colleague would take more breaks and more staff members actually noticed him. And so this colleague was perceived as more hardworking. But in reality, my client worked fewer hours, but actually achieved the same work output. And so in 9-to-5 jobs, there is a tendency to value presenteeism, but trading does not work like that. In trading, we often have to plan for setups, but that setup can happen at any time. There's something called the Pareto principle, which states that 80% of results in life come from 20% of efforts. And this really applies to trading as well, because you'll probably find that 80% of your profits come from 20% of those select few trades. And so it really is about quality of trades as opposed to quantity of trades. Something that I've also noticed in the trading community is people are often very focused at the start of the week. They perhaps have the trading checklist and are very focused, but by the end of the week, often they can be erratic and start placing excess trades because they're waiting for an end of week paycheck. But trading is very different from normal 9-to-5 jobs. It's more about your performance across 50, 100, 1,000 trades. So your end of month, quarterly performance, as opposed to your end of week performance. And if you're waiting for a paycheck every single week, sometimes that can actually force you to FOMO and place unnecessary trades, which ultimately just leads to losses. Trading is really about emotional mastery, patience, and discipline. I believe that if you can master trading, you can master anything in your life. So I hope this video helps you to address some of those common limiting trading beliefs. And if you enjoyed this video, then you will love my previous video, which gives you tips on being a profitable trader.